Well, good evening, race fans of the internet. Welcome back to another feature presentation of the Southern Outlaw Auto Racing Series live on Talking Dirt TV. Of course, my name is Ryan Williams. I will be your host tonight. And joining me, the big papa of the Carolinas, Mr. Matt Pridgeon, back in the booth here for number 9. Excuse me, I don't know what just happened, but round number 9 coming your way live from the Rudskogen International Raceway. And Matt, I don't know where we're at, but we're at Rudskogen, and we're about to have some fun. I believe 11 cars signed in here, and everybody is taking to the track for a little bit of qualifying here, just trying to catch up with everything. But Matt, how you doing tonight? And I guess good to be back here with the series on TDTV.
Yeah, man, I'm doing all right here tonight. Getting back to another road course here right away. Feels like we were at Watkins Glen just yesterday, but here we are at the Rudskogen Motor Center,
Yes,
wherever
indeed.
it may be.
We are in Norway, Matthew. We are in Norway here.
Wow, long ride.
Yeah, long plane ride for us today as we head to Norway. About a 2-mile track there with quite a few turns. These guys, I believe 11 of them have signed in so far. And we were away for 2 races. I had some difficulties getting home in time to get those started, but Andrew Rutherford took round number 7 at Sobo, and Brian Hacker a win last week at the Lima Land Motorsports Complex in beautiful Lima, Ohio. And so far this season, we're going to bring it up for you as we watch from the drone view. Mr. James Murphy taking a little bit of practice time. There is your current point standings. Let's make those just a little bit bigger so you guys can see them. We've currently, Matt, got James Murphy leading the points, about 27 to the good of Andy Rutherford, with Elliott Vining rounding out the top 3 so far this season with just 2 races left remaining. You've got, let's see here. Actually, no, 3 races left remaining. New Smyrna next week. Then it'll be Kentucky, and then the outer ring at the Irwindale International Raceway to finalize the season. So far, so good for the dirt racer James Murphy, as he got 1 win this year so far, and he currently holds a 27-point lead over Rutherford. Now, Matt, you were in that race last week watching from above, and you got to see a heck of a race that the fans at home missed between Murphy and Brian Hacker.
Yeah, and a good hard fought battle there last week between those 2 fellas. Not sure. I don't think I see Brian Hacker here again tonight. But yeah, James, he's been able to put it on the podium, not on the podium, on in victory circle here only 1 time this season, but has a pretty, nice little points lead here going into this race. So he's able to keep it up front all season long.
Absolutely. And we're watching James right now as he takes his qualifying time for this evening, as I believe nobody has gotten 1 lap complete yet. So we're watching James from the top. Let's actually take the cameras down low and get a good look at that TDTV number 65, as they're only taking 1 lap of qualifying. These guys in practice, I'll actually bring those results up really quickly so that we can see what they were looking like earlier, running about a minute 30. So about a minute and a half per lap for these guys. Rutherford was the quickest in the practice session, Vining second, Murphy third out of 11. So as we get into a little bit of qualifying, Murphy looking to put down a quick lap number 1 so far. Vining the quickest, as we'll bring it up here. Vining the quickest at 1:34.05 on his 1 and only lap. Now Murphy, working his way around the speedway, will look to get a good lap of his own. I see Murphy coming into the final couple of turns here at the speedway. As he works back down the front straightaway. This was going to be interesting too, Matt, for us, because Not only have we only ever called one of these races on a road course track, this one is completely different than any road course that you and I have ever called a race at.
Yeah, it sure is. Like we said earlier, the race is or the track is in Norway, I believe you said. So we're a long ways from North America over here. A little bit, like you said, a little bit different here. So one thing I want to point out is you see on these rumble strips on some of them, there's like a little green patch beside them, kind of before it gets to grass. I think it's okay if they get their left side tires onto those little green pads. But if they go a little bit past that and get into the grass, that's going to be points.
Right.
And there are points, in fact, in factoring in tonight as if you run off the track. So that could be a little issue tonight if you're not too careful, or if you're not careful enough.
Sorry about that, race fans. I was having a problem there with our formatting real quick, but I believe everything has been taken care of as we still got a couple of cars on the speedway. There's Pete Dillon in the 7 chasing a championship. Dillon in the top 5 in the standing so far. Matt, I believe tonight just 25 laps maybe going to be run here at Rudskogen International. And these guys trying to lock in some qualifying times here. 8 so far have done so. Christensen still not on track. Carter still not on track. Toller still not on track. And we're watching Nathan Wenzel here in the number 03 cut a couple of laps. I believe just one to make up his times. He's the only Class A road course driver in the field. And he currently works his way around the middle portion of the track here into this long sweeping turn.
So another thing, as I was saying earlier, you get an incident point if you do go a little bit too far off the track. It is also like you hit the wall on a regular asphalt or dirt track while qualifying. If you go off the track and get an incident point, that nullifies your qualifying lap. So these guys that don't have a time, maybe that's the case.
Maybe Maybe that explains it. Maybe that will be why Wenzel may not get a time, as he continuously has been hitting those rumble strips down there coming around these corners. I believe he's in corner number 12 now, maybe? I got to go back and count all these corners. But yeah, guys, road course is not really our thing if you're watching along at home. But we are making the best of it here, as there is the checkered on qualifying. And Vining will lead us from the pole as these guys begin to grid up for tonight's feature event, and they will line up as follows as we pull it up here. There is your qualifying results. Vining, a 1 minute 34 second lap time. Rutherford all over him. He'll be second. Murphy third. Gross fourth. Martin fifth. And I believe, Pete Dillon sixth. Dylan Sales seventh. Aaron Thompson, Reed Christensen, Nathan Wenzel, Brian Toller, Alan Carter. So 12 cars, Matt, will make the call here tonight. And that is exactly what the grid is as well.
Absolutely shaping up to be a great race here tonight.
Oh, it sure is. I mean, not what we're used to, but we are definitely going to be intrigued to see what kind of action we have here. You remember the last road course race that we had was pretty spectacular there right at the end between, I want to say that was, let's see if I can go back and find it real quick.
Aaron Thompson.
Yeah, Aaron Thompson and Aaron Thompson and Elliot Vining. That's right. Those two put on a heck of a show at the first road course of the year, which was
very great.
Watkins Glen. Yeah, really good race between those two, and they look like, Matt, they might do it again here. Thompson's starting a little bit deep in the field, so he's going to have a ways to go. But Vining right there on the point here as we wait the whole cooldown time because, as always with the series admin Thomas Ingle does not realize how to join as a spectator.
We'll teach him one day.
We'll teach him one day. So I'm thinking here, Matt, we're going to have one pace lap followed by, what is it, 25 laps of green flag here today?
25 laps, I believe. I don't know if caution laps count. I don't know how we're going to do with the cautions and everything. You know, once you get more than 4 corners, you know, cautions tend to get a little difficult.
Absolutely. So 25 laps the distance, 12 cars, and about a minute and a half per lap here. We should end up with, you know, probably a 50-minute or so race. So good time to sit back, relax, enjoy some SOAR Street Stock Racing action live on TDTV. And if this doesn't suit your fancy as well as you would like it to, and you want even more Talking Dirt action, you can check out the newest episode of the Talking Dirt podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And hopefully another new episode coming this week between myself and Mr. Matt Pridgeon. And who knows, we might even add a couple more guests to the mix as we get into a big weekend of dirt track racing here in the Palmetto State. Of course, you got
exciting weekend.
Oh yeah, man, you got Carolina Clash at Fayetteville, of course the Steel Block Bandits at Sumter, and then Blue Ridge Outlaw Late Models at Lancaster. Some big racing coming this weekend. Y'all go check out the Talking Dirt podcast wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And we've got a lot of really good content coming. For those of you who are interested, the most recent content was a sit-down interview with Dalton Hodge, which kind of brought it full circle for me because he was the first guy that I ever did a Talking Dirt interview with about 3 years ago now. We sat up in the tower at Sumter Speedway and had a nice little discussion, and we did the same here in the TD studios. And hopefully after this is concluded here tonight, Matt and I will be able to do the same, just virtually this time, but we will definitely have something out for you guys very soon. But Matt, we are lined up and ready to go. Just a couple more corners until we take the green flag for round number 9 of SOAR Season 4 here at Rudskogen Motor Center.
Hey man, that rolls off the tongue. Roar Season 4. That's what I'm talking about.
Roar season?
SOAR Season 4.
There you go.
Excuse me. SOAR. I am so sorry. SOAR Season 4.
Absolutely, yes.
Roar.
SOAR Season 4. There you go.
SOAR Season 4.
Roar season. It's roar season.
Do the roar. Do the roar.
Oh, man. So here they go,
Anyways.
man. 2 by 2 by 2. Down the front straightaway. That green flag about to fly. Vining and Rutherford on the front row. They get into the restart zone, and we are off and running here at Rudskogen Motor Center. They race down the front straightaway, and they're going to have to take a hard left-hand hairpin into turn number 1. And we already got contact. We already got multiple cars around. The 03 of Wenzel, the 4 machine of Martin involved. I believe we stay green here.
Yes, sir. I do believe we stay green, and it, so far looks like your top 3 coming out of those first few turns is going to be Elliott Vining, James Murphy, Andrew Rutherford. Well, and then David Gross and Pete Dillon is going to round out the top 5. I think Nathan Wenzel caught the bad end of that, and I think Colt Martin did as well. So those 2 drivers got the cars back around and pointed in the right direction. Hopefully going to continue on, try to finish this race.
That they do, as I believe we got even more going on back there. Wenzel with a ton of damage on his 03. We got contact right in front of them. Carter involved here with Martin as well. So Colton Martin, a couple of incidents early in the going here at the Rudskogen Motor Center. That's a little ways up to Brian Toller in the 9 car. He trails Christensen, Sale, Thompson, and then you get into your top 5. There's Pete Dillon all by his lonesome. David Gross by his lonesome as well. The battle for second right now rages, Matt. James Murphy holds the spot. Rutherford waiting on the TDTV driver to make a mistake here as we come to complete lap number 1 with Vining, your leader. And
I'm starting to think, Elliott Vining here's better better at these road courses than everybody else is, because he's off to a really good lead so far after this first lap. But like you said, Rutherford right on the TDTV car's tail. He just showing his nose there coming out of that first corner.
Absolutely, as they race down that long, we'll call it the back straightaway here into turn number 5. Vining continues to lead by a good little margin. We'll slow this down just a little bit so you guys have a chance to read it up top to get your results. As we continue to watch on from the hard cams, Murphy now, Matt, has escaped Rutherford for the time being. 2 rookie license road course drivers here, both battling for the second spot. We talked about it earlier. The only Class A driver in the field, Nathan Wenzel, currently sits in the 12th and final position on the speedway. As we look at, I believe, a battle right now. If I can get back to it here. Who was that battle in there? I believe Reed Christensen was right there with somebody. We had some contact. Aaron Thompson goes around. He's in the pits. So Thompson with an incident here, Matt, on lap number 2.
Yeah, that's unfortunate to see. As looks like he's gonna just call the tow truck to come get him and jump to the pits.
Oh yeah.
You know, I don't know. This is very early on in the race. I would have, toughed it out. Got back on the track, maybe salvage some points a little bit, but hey, may not be that important to him. So now we got the battle between Dylan Sell and Reed Christensen here for the 6th position. The 9 car of Brian Toller lurking not too far behind him.
Yeah, Toller with a good run so far, as he's carrying a lot of speed here into this big sweeping corner. Let's actually ride on board real quick. Let's jump down in the car with Mr. Brian Toller as he gives chase to Reed Christensen and Dylan Sale here. Toller, of course, driving the number 9 machine. As you hear him there, Matt, he's just patting that gas, going over those speed bumps, we'll call them, there on the side of the speedway. The rumble strips, that's the word I was looking for. Toller's hitting those rumble strips just about every corner, but he's really not losing anything as he pulls in tight on Reed here into that big hairpin turn.
Well, as you were watching Brian Toller, we had a position change up here in for position 2. Andrew Rutherford able to get around the TDTV logo car, numbered car. The 65 of James Murphy, and able to put a little bit of distance on him here. So them two switch positions. Now James rides 3rd and Rutherford 2nd. Oh, Vining spins it out in turn number 2, I believe, or maybe 1. But now Rutherford's in the lead. James is in 2nd. Now Elliot Vining falls back to 4th. That puts David Gross in the 3rd position.
Yeah, Vining all the way back to 4th there in the Lowe's number 49. And he's going to have a tough row to hoe with 22 laps still remaining here. These laps not really, they're slow laps, but we're getting there. David Gross a little bit squirrely there coming out of corner number 5 as he gets down into a bit of a school bus stop section. A bunch of school bus stops right there in a row. Hairpin turn to the left. David Gross in the number 78 in the 3rd spot. Up to Murphy in the TDTV cars. They go down this big, long, sweeping straightaway into another hairpin turn as he has reeled in the number 35 of Rutherford. About a second separates your top 2.
Well, we got a big contact between Dylan Sell and Reed Christensen. Not going to try to attempt at what corner number that is, but Dylan Sell's going to come away with the position, and now Reed is going to spin it all the way out again.
Yeah.
So back to the drawing board for Reed Christensen as he will be riding in the 10th position.
Yeah, Reed tried it and just stepped on it there through the corner, and he will take a do-si-do around, but will salvage a top 10 for right now. He's got one driver behind him, Nathan Wenzel. Alan Carter off the track here in the 3 machine. He pulls down pit road. Carter may be done for the night. As Reed will get by him, Colton Martin there in the 4 car, riding all by himself behind Toller. We've got a battle brewing right now. Vining takes 3rd, back away from David Gross here with 21 laps to go as these two race into this big sweeping section of the track, back and forth, left to right, and then right to left for Vining as he's trying to track down your top 2. Murphy trails Rutherford by just about a second here as we continue to work off lap number 5.
Yes, it's a good thing he had that big lead there to start the race off, because he really didn't lose much time to those guys. He's currently 3 seconds by, or 3.5 seconds behind Andrew Rutherford here, so not too far behind the leader, just enough for them to slip up, and he'll be able to catch up to him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If they make a slip here, he will definitely be in prime position to catch him. Alan Carter in the 3 machine has made his way back on track, so come in to take a fast repair, I believe is what he did. Christensen with some right side damage on the Outlaw number 30 machine there. Dylan Sale going to go to pit road as well here, Matt. And the good thing about coming to pit road here, you're not going to lose a lap, but you're going to lose all your spots and your track position.
Well, yeah, it's difficult to make it's hard to make a green flag pit stop. You know, like I usually say, I'm a dirt guy, so I'm not too much about I don't know too much about pit strategies, but
Right.
I know you lose a lot more time, obviously, so not what you want, but for the long run, this might be what he needs.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely could be what these guys need, especially those coming, from the back here with a lot of damage. These guys playing it smart, going ahead, fixing the cars, and getting back out there and really pounding that gas pedal to see what they've got before this race gets all said and done. Still 20 laps to go here, so anything can happen when you're cooking off lap times at, around the minute and a half mark.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at the timing right now, and I'm noticing the 49 of Elliott Vining has ticked off an entire second. I want to say this last lap, so he is showing some tremendous speed here tonight at Rudskogen Motor Center.
He absolutely has. Vining back in 3rd, and he's chasing down Murphy, who holds the 2nd spot. James trying to get away from him, but not going so well for him right now as Elliott continues to track him down about a second back of Murphy. Murphy's almost 2 seconds back of your leader, Rutherford, as we continue to work on laps here. Now, James was practicing a good bit for this race here, ran quite a few laps here at Rudskogen, so for a dirt racer, not doing too bad right now, and as long as he's able to hold this top 3, we'll definitely maintain that points lead as we head into round number 10 next week at New Smyrna. Back to it, Matt. I'm so ready for that. Back to good old-fashioned short track racing. Back to New Smyrna, and then Kentucky Motor Speedway coming up on the 25th of this month. If you have never seen street stocks at Kentucky, as we see a pass for second here as Vining goes to the bottom of Murphy. He'll get around him and take second place back. Good move there by Elliott Vining. Old E-Dog back to second. But anyways, the Kentucky Motor Speedway, man, I used to run that track in these street stocks all the time. And when you say 3-wide racing, it is all over the place. It races almost like the dirt track or the Charlotte Motor Speedway does with these cars. So we are in for a heck of a time in 2 weeks at Kentucky. And then final race of the year, Irwindale, the outer ring of the Speedway, on the 2nd of May. Should be a fun time there as well. As we come back live, 18 laps to go. Rutherford trying to outrun Vining, but Vining, Matt, is tracking him down here. Just about 2 seconds separate those two. And I believe towards the back we had Reed Christensen involved in another incident just a moment ago He straightened that 30 machine back out, and he is haul and tail trying to track down Taller.
Yeah, and the 4 of Colt Martin able to, after that rough start he had, he's been able to keep it clean here and work himself up to the 6th position. Still a long ways to go, so mate, who knows what can happen here late in these laps. Is now Elliott Vining down under 2 seconds to leader Andrew Rutherford.
Absolutely, yeah, down to 2 seconds, like you said, as Rutherford works his way into a bit of a hard left-hand turn. He'll take another left and then a sweeping right, and Vining gaining precious time on him here. Still 18 laps to go, still anybody's ball game. Vining looking for win number 1 on the season, and it would be Rutherford looking for win number 3 on the season. So far, we got a couple of repeat winners. Sean Hayes has won twice. Rutherford has won twice. Those are your only repeat winners so far. The other winners are Murphy, Jeff Town, and Brian Hacker, who won just last week at Lima Land. And I believe we're still getting closer and closer here, Matt. About a second and a half between your top two. Murphy has dropped a little ways. He's about 2 seconds back right now of Vining, rounding out the podium.
Yeah, Murphy's dropping back a little bit, but I think he's still in a good position here, setting himself up for a good points run. He's saying, y'all two go at it. Y'all have fun. I'm going to just give me a good finish. But, yeah, I mean, Elliott Vining getting very close down to almost a second here. Down to Andrew Rutherford.
You are absolutely right. Rutherford is still leading this race, but yeah, it's right at about a second. 1.4 officially the lead for Andrew Rutherford, as he leads us with 17 laps to go still. As they're about to click off another one, it'll be 16 to go this time by at the line. Field nice and spread out, everybody just cutting away some laps here at Rudskogen.
So, have you gotten the hang of which turn numbers or which yet?
Not at all. We're winging it, baby. We're winging it. Like I said, this isn't something we do very often, especially. Yeah, we're more akin to dirt track racing. I'm looking for any.
More so oval track.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, even as simple as oval track, but I mean, we're obviously you and I are both right at home at a dirt track, especially on the iRacing service. And we're always looking for, any and all dirt series that want to come aboard to TDTV. Would love to, partner with one to take over when this series is done for the season here in just a couple of weeks. But, I mean, I'm getting used to it. It's just not quite as much action as I was hoping to see, although Vining is giving a nice chase here, and I'm excited to see when this battle picks back up. But other than that, we don't really have any big battles. You've got Colt Martin and Brian Toller. They're near each other. Not quite on top of each other yet. You go back to Dylan Sale and Reed Christensen. They are also near each other. But then back up front, Vining still trails Rutherford by almost 2 seconds at this point as Rutherford stretches his lead back out with 15 to go.
Well, yeah, we saw Vining, start to close in on Rutherford there for a little bit. And then Rutherford was able to, fend him off a little bit and spread it out. But now Vining's, I guess Rutherford's better at the last half of the track, and Elliott Vining can catch him a little bit there at the first half. So, little tit for tat with these two guys right now. As Elliott Vining just dipped under a second there, just for a split second, but now he's back to a second and a half behind.
And Murphy comes stumbling down the hill. He'll get into, I want to say it's like corner number 8. I'm not sure. Man, get me back to 4 corners. 4 is as high as I can count, man. I'm sorry. This is crazy.
Us rednecks.
Yeah, man, us rednecks, Bo. 4's about as high as I can go.
We can't count past 4.
I'm enjoying the racing here, but
it's good racing.
I need 4. I need 4 corners, nice close bang bang action, and road courses just aren't quite it. I'm not trying to pick on anybody who loves road courses. Well, I'm just saying it's not really my thing.
Well, at this point in these kind of races, is you're kind of in conserve mode, and you're just going through the motions at this point, making sure you don't spin out, giving yourself a good little pace. You don't use up your tires too soon.
Right.
So it is a very, like I said, going through the motions here, and it'll probably be that way for the next maybe 8 laps, 9 laps. So
we got a wreck. Brian Toller, 9 car around here on turn something. I don't know. Turn two. Brian Toller goes around, and he will pick steam back up. And green flag stays out. 14 laps to go. Take the cameras back up front. Rutherford and Vining coming up the hill and going down the hill. That's going to be our new scoop the dirt, dump the dirt. Up the hill, down the hill. Up the hill, down the hill.
There you go. And one thing I'm noticing is this track has DRS zones. I don't know if
what is that?
People know it.
Nope.
Drag reduction systems. So that what that is like in your cars with your high tech stuff. Whenever they get that DRS zone, those little signs on the side of the track that says DRS. When they get in there, usually in practice and qualifying, they can open those. But in a race, I think in most cases you got to be within a second of the car in front of you, and you can flip that DRS. And what that does is it kind of opens up your spoiler, and lets it, and it kind of like, because your spoiler at that point it's like a parachute. So
right. Well, I don't think these redneck street stocks have that capability and technology.
What we need to do is put it on some sort of hinge, put that spoiler on some sort of hinge, and hit a button. When we hit a button, that spoiler drops down.
Could you imagine doing that at a dirt track? That would be perfect.
and then taking the cable and then yanking it back up.
You can have you take your late model and you have your spoiler on a rope and chain. And when you're at a big half-mile track or something, you can sit there and back and forth, move your spoiler up and down.
DRS, baby.
DRS. Reduce the drag, baby. Reduce the drag.
Now, Elliott Vining is falling back to 2.5 seconds behind that 35 of Andrew Rutherford.
Oh, yeah. Back to the race. Oh, man. 12 laps to go. Yep. Rutherford, Vining, Murphy, your top 3. Gross 4th. And there's Pete Dillon. He rides in 5th. Colt Martin 6th. Brian Tyler 7th. Dylan Sale 8th. Nathan Wenzel 9th. Alan Carter in the 10th spot here. As Matt and I are still trying to... Got another one. Alan Carter around in the 3. Alan Carter around in the 3 machine. Staying green here with 12 laps to go. Oh, he spins it again, trying to get it back going. Oh, my. He's doing donuts. Come on, Alan. Get it together. There he goes. This time he might have it. As he's going to pull it to the top of the speedway, and he'll get back on the track here. So Carter goes around now. Nathan Wenzel had a bit of an incident, but I believe he keeps the 03 going in the right direction. A lot of guys, Matt, struggling to find grip here at the Rudskogen Motor Center. The only three that haven't struggled at all so far, Rutherford, Vining, and Murphy. Your top three. David Gross solid in fourth. Pete Dillon solid in fifth. Those guys all have pretty clean race cars, to say the least. But back up front, the lead grows for Rutherford as he is putting even more distance between he and Elliott Vining. I believe it's up to probably, 2.5 seconds at this point. Let's see what the gap is. 3.2 seconds between first and second.
Yeah, that gap keeps growing and growing here as this race continues. And if he's coming up on lap traffic now, Rutherford is, but Carter just going to let him roll on by. He's going to pull it into the side, wait for them to go, and now he's going to pull it back on the track and continue on.
Yes, sir, indeed. Still racing here. Vining trying to give chase, but Rutherford seems to have his number as we sit. Still 11 laps to go. Murphy third, Gross fourth, Dillon fifth. None of that has changed. Martin still sixth. Toller is seventh, and Dylan Sale is, I believe, in the eighth spot. Wenzel, who is in front of him, is a lap down. So Wenzel now back on the same lap as Sale. He's going to have to pass him again, however, to take the spot. Oh, Reed's in the pits for some reason. I guess he's getting some damage repair as well.
I believe he is. Now it looks like Elliott Vining's driving it a little bit harder. So he's able to work that split down to almost under 2 seconds here. So he pushing a little bit hard that lap to close it in a little bit. And I tell you what, that turn one comes up real quick, and the thing is, these guys don't have the driving light on, and there's no GPS or nothing, so you don't know when a turn's coming. So you have to actually know the track as if you would have to know the track in real life, which puts a pretty cool, realistic twist to things.
I was about to say, there would be absolutely no way that I would ever be able to run this racetrack.
Lots of practice,
dude. You ain't kidding.
If you could put about 50 to 75.
Whoa, hold on. Pete Dillon's around. Oh, there's contact between he and the 4 of Colt Martin. Martin's going to continue on. He'll take spot number 5 away from Dillon. And Matt, continue your story.
But no, I was saying, if you were to get about 50 to 75 laps on this track before the race day, came, I think you'd be able to, navigate this track pretty well. But now we have a battle starting to form for the race lead. Elliott Vining has worked himself to a 3/4 of a second split here behind the 35 of Andrew Rutherford.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you were absolutely right. As Vining making a heck of a charge right now. It's down to a second between he and leader Rutherford. Is 12 seconds back to Murphy, 21 seconds back to David Gross, with 9 laps to go. As I believe Brian Toller moves into the 6th spot as Pete Dillon comes off of the speedway. He will presumably be done for the rest of the evening. As it looks like, Matt, the battle for the lead might pick up here in a moment. Now back out to about 1.5 seconds for Rutherford over Vining.
Yeah, these two keep going back and forth. It's pretty interesting. I hope they can get close and battle it out here for the last few laps, but I think it'll be pretty interesting if Elliott Vining can get up to him. Because there was some moves we seen at Watkins Glen that he pulled that worked out for him in his favor. So maybe he can pull out those same moves here.
So back with you here, 8 laps to go. Oh, Rutherford, little squirrely there coming around the corner. He still leads Vining. Yeah, man, 25 laps, a long way here at this track here. Already been going for about as long as it takes us to do a normal race. And we've still got 8 laps to go. So now is where attrition comes into play, as we've already seen quite a few guys drop out. Dylan's back on the track. Tyler is back on the track. Wenzel, Carter, I believe Christensen off the speedway. Aaron Thompson off the speedway as well. So we're minus 2 cars from the start. And back up front, a heck of a race. Looks like it's about to get underway, as Vining has chased down your leader. He is within striking distance. So we'll pull up this view. Rutherford, the leader, Vining 0.7 seconds back of him. Murphy, minus 14 seconds. Gross, minus 23. Colton Martin is about 41 seconds back. So minus your front 2, Matt, everybody is about as wide open by themselves as it gets.
And that's the thing about this kind of race, and it spreads out like this, and it's
Give me a bull ring.
get a little bit of action out of it, but
Oh yeah. Oh,
here
Dylan Sale. Another wreck. Dylan Sale in the 12 car spins going around that big sweeping turn. I'll say it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3 or 4. One of the 2. And back to Matt with the battle up front.
Now that he's back within a second, but barely. But he is actually tracking him down here through these little, I don't know what kind of corners. I'm gonna just call them S's, the little S corners. As now he's right under a 3/4 of a second, down to a half a second split here. As they go through this slow, almost hairpin corner. Rutherford can feel that 49 breathing down his back bumper as he is starting to show his nose here a little bit. Waiting for Rutherford to give him just the slightest bit of room. We get on this long front straightaway, and this Elliott Vining going to draft up to him. Going to see what kind of a move he's going to pull here going into the first turn. Going to stay behind Rutherford. Going to try to gain a little bit of speed and pass him in another corner.
Absolutely. Vining is pressuring the leader. Meanwhile, we had Colton Martin go around in the 4 car. A lot of guys struggling back here besides your top 4 as the battle for the lead persists on. 6 laps to go. Vining closing on the 35 of Rutherford. Elliott blinking a little bit, but that doesn't stop him. He is right there. About a half a second separates the top 2. As we work down the chute here into a big sweeping corner, up into the hairpin. And we will come around. It'll be 5 laps to go here at the Rudskogen Motor Center.
And it's Motor Center with an S, not a C. But, anyways, these top 2 right here, they are right here together. I told you here. Here in the last few laps, it's going to get a little entertaining as Rutherford goes way wide and almost ends up in the sand pit. That allows Elliott Vining to get right back onto his bumper. All Rutherford's rearview mirror is right now is that front end of Elliott Vining's Camaro. Rutherford's going into turn one this lap with a little bit of a lead. He was able to get back into a 1 second. Oh, he misses the corner. Rutherford misses the corner there, so he have to give some time up. Now he's down to almost a 2.5 second, 2.5 seconds behind new leader Elliott Vining.
Absolutely, yeah. Vining is your new leader, like you just said, Matt. Rutherford back to second. He missed another corner there. Andrew Rutherford struggling here with 5 laps to go. Murphy's got a ways to catch up, but he may just, in fact, be able to take advantage of this if Rutherford continues to miss his marks here as we work through the, you called them the S's a minute ago, down through the sweeping corner, up through the dog leg right, and into this hairpin at the top of the racetrack. Vining, your leader, and he's already stretched it out to about 2.5 seconds over Andy Rutherford.
And this, like I said, it's right now it's just going through the motions, and it's, you know, who's got the best focus, and he lost just a little bit of concentration. That one little bit of concentration, you know, messed him up in, you know, a few other corners, and then he tried to overcorrect it in the other corners, and it ended up hurting him more. So unfortunate for Rutherford is he's trying to work up some points to catch up to point leader James Murphy. But hey, it could be a smart play by him, but who knows? Man, I'm going to tell you what, there are some hot front brake rotors out here on these cars tonight. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but everybody's front rotors are cherry red, have been this entire race. I don't know how they haven't turned into liquid yet.
You telling me the brakes are about to start melting here in a minute?
Man, they've been cherry red the whole race.
They sure have. As you look at Vining, his front rotors are glowing right now. Same with Rutherford as he trails him by about 3 seconds. 4 laps to go for E-Dog. Elliott Vining out front in 49. And we'll check on our points leader, James Murphy, also with some red glowing brakes on the front of his TDTV number 65.
Oh, he gets a little sideways. Going through, I guess, what you call the bus stop. Able to keep it straight. We're going to lose a little bit of time, but he's still got a good bit between him and fourth place of David Gross.
Absolutely, and Gross, a guy we haven't talked about a whole lot here. He's been very consistent all night long, right there in fourth since the jump. And now with just 3 laps to go, we'll try to contain that spot. Next guy back from him is Colton Martin, who is quite a ways back, about 20 seconds off of Gross. And Gross about 10 seconds off of Murphy, who rides in third. Back to the lead. Vining with about a 2.8 second advantage with 3 laps to go. As he's closed it in, Matt, on the popsicle sticks at the flag stand. Going to be 2 to go this time.
Two laps to go. I know some of these guys are going to be happy. I know we're going to be happy to see this one in. Been some good racing. been some good racing though. Been some good racing. So, you know, nothing to be too upset about. But a little bit of trouble here for Andrew Rutherford is he's starting to lose a lot of grip, starting to fishtail a lot through these corners. He loses a little bit more time to leader Elliott Vining. Ooh, looks like Alan Carter around the front straightaway. Him and Nathan Wenzel get tangled up a little bit. This leader James Murphy is coming through right behind them. It looks like they're going to duke it out a little bit there, right off of turn 2. Rutherford able to close the gap just a little bit. Swings it wide again through the bus stop. Doesn't lose too much time. He's right under 2.5 seconds behind race leader Elliott Vining, with 1 lap to go here at the flag stand.
Absolutely. Elliott Vining about 1.5 minutes before he'll claim series victory number 1 on the season. Remember the last road course we had, it was a nail biter between he and Aaron Thompson. And Thompson just barely got him at the line. Vining looking for sweet redemption here tonight at the Rudskogen Motor Center here in Norway. A long trip for these guys, but a sweet reward for Vining if he could just keep it all 4 on the speedway for the rest of this lap as he comes down to about the halfway point of the speedway into what Matt calls the S's, a series of S-shaped turns here, and you head into a big old sweeping corner out with a dog leg to the right. Then you go to the hairpin down the speedway into another hairpin left, and Elliott Vining making it look like child's play here on the last lap, Matt.
Yeah, I think Elliott has the hang of the road courses.
Oh, yeah.
And I think if the series were to do a driver choice of races, he might choose the road courses.
I think we know who voted to have road courses in this season. Now that we see this,
definitely for sure. So
I believe we know who the culprit was.
Definitely showing us what he's got here tonight.
Absolutely, is Vining off the final corner down the straightaway, and he will cross the start-finish line in the first position and win here at the Rudskogen Motor Center. Rutherford comes home second. Murphy working his way off of the final turn. He'll come down the front straightaway as well to finish in the 3rd spot officially. David Gross here working into the final corner. He will come home in the 4th spot. Colt Martin, a good ways behind him, will come home in the 5th spot. Barring disaster for Martin, I believe Dylan Sale is a little ways behind him. Sale may have actually, Sale's still racing there. He's in 6th. A couple of guys already finished this race. Heck, Murphy's still driving. James is still driving. He wants another spot here on, I guess, an extra lap maybe. James just taking an extra lap to continue his practice. Here comes Martin across the start-finish line to round out his night. And that will bring an end to tonight's feature event. Vining, Rutherford, Murphy, Gross, Martin, your top 5. Sale, Dillon, Toller, Wenzel, Carter will round out the field here. As really quickly, just going to have a quick word with our race winner here tonight, as he's probably in there having some admin chat, but we're going to drag him up here anyways and have a word with him, capturing his first win of the season, young Elliott Vining, the Sumter, South Carolina native, here in what I will admit wasn't my favorite race of the year, but you absolutely put on a heck of a show. And like Matt and I were talking about, you were probably definitely the guy that before the season was clamoring to get road courses on the schedule, and now we see why.
Yeah, I'm out of breath. That was that was the hardest I've ever driven one of these cars.
And the longest too.
Yeah, I thought I screwed it when I was leading and spun out like the second lap.
Well, hey,
But
25 laps at a minute and a half a lap. Yeah, I was about to say 25 laps at a minute and a half a lap. I definitely thought you had a shot to catch back up. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was faster. Thomas kept telling me that I was like a second a lap faster than him, and then we got to like 10 laps to go, and we both kind of equaled out on tires, I guess. And luckily, he just kept making a couple mistakes. Then I got close enough to him that I think I pushed the issue and
absolutely
made him make a mistake. So
yeah, and he does make a mistake, and you come home with the win here, first win of the season. And if we quickly pull the standings back up, you were sitting in the third place in the points. And with Rutherford finishing in the second spot, I don't believe you're really going to gain that much. But you are now solidly in third as we get into the final stretch here, escaping Aaron Thompson, who unfortunately had a really bad night here tonight. So, I mean, if nothing else, you're staying on the podium here in points. So I guess there's a plus.
yeah, there's a plus. I mean, my first win in this series.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm drained, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little drained after that one. That was a long one for me to come back to. Of course, I unfortunately had to miss the last 2 weeks, and a good one to come back on, especially to see you finally get that victory. But go ahead and thank anybody watching at home that you might need to thank, or if you need to pay some bills, shout out your sponsors, anything like that.
Well, I'll tell you what sponsor I do need. I need Thrustmaster to sponsor me, because last night in our other league, my throttle pedal, the spring in it broke.
Ooh.
So right now I actually have 2 Lowe's springs wrapped around my throttle pedal, and that's what got me the win tonight. So had to jimmy rig some stuff up to get this win. So
well,
hey,
hey,
nice
it
to have
worked.
Thrustmaster come on as a sponsor.
Absolutely. Thrustmaster, Fanatec, anybody that wants to come along. Yeah, y'all got to put on some good racing, and they might actually join in. But Elliott, congratulations. I'll holler at you in a little bit. But man, big win here tonight. Good for points, and a couple of tracks that are going to be right up our neck of the woods here in a couple are coming up next week. So I guess good luck at those, and let's see what you got when we go back to a small bull ring.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So that was the Elliott Vining. That's all we're going to get to here tonight. Is we're running out of time here. We've been going for well over an hour at this point. So, guys, we are going to bid you adieu here from Rudskogen Motor Center. Of course, from Mr. Matt Pridgeon, Master Matt. For Mr. Matt Pridgeon, I've been Ryan Williams. And once again, Elliott Vining is your big winner here tonight. Andrew Rutherford second. James Murphy rounds out the top 3. You'll catch us right here live next Tuesday at the New Smyrna Speedway for a night race. That will be 80 laps the distance in New Smyrna next week. Do not want to miss that one as we get back to our roots with the SOAR street stocks in what should be a rough and tumble 80-lap feature. We will catch you next Tuesday night once again. New Smyrna Speedway, SOAR street stocks. We'll be back in a week.